Hi, this is a Visual Basics tutorial that I've just finished developing. The whole idea is to store some value into array, and that's why I call it array to store numbers. So it's either you generate the number. If I decide to generate, I can add it to my array right here, or I can even just type in some values and add it to array. In total, I can add, let's say, about 8 of those. And so let me just add. Alright, so let's see how many we have in total. Okay, that means the array is full up, so click on OK and we just click on display. Those are the numbers that I've added to my array. You can also search the array. Okay, let's say we go for 74. You see that this number is in the array. Supposing we decide to search for any other value that is not on the array, say not found, and supposing the search criteria happens to be empty, okay, enter a number to find. Okay, we can, if you notice, we cannot, as soon as we have full array, we cannot use any of this device or any of this component anymore. And we can also exit the system. If we click on exit, yeah, the system asks you confirm if you want to leave the system. Let's click on no. Okay, so we can still use the system, and you can sort the numbers, you see, and once you click on that, you see, you can start using the numbers again. So if I click on exit now and say yes, that is it, all system out. Okay, so what I'll do next is to take you guys straight into Visual Basic development environment, where we will put together something very similar. Okay, so let's have a go at that and see. Alright, so let's go into Visual Basic right now. Exit. Okay, we're now starting new project in Visual Basic. Make sure you click on new project and select Windows Forms application. Click on OK. Now we have this development environment, or you can call it a container if you want. I'm just going to set the size of my form to about that. That's 1370 by, let's go for maybe 670 and just click anywhere there. Alright, the next thing I would do now, is just to select my toolbox there and scroll down, look for the group box. I'm going to need 4 of those. I have one here, another one here, and one here. Those are my group boxes, so I might as well just select it all and change the back color right now. Let's change the back color. Okay, that's the color of the previous one. Okay, that's the color of my group box. So next thing I'll do is just arrange it the way I want, or I can even, let me change the background color of this form first to black. There. Now just align my group box to suit what I want. That's my group box right there. I will now speed this up and get back to you guys. Okay guys, this is how my group box are looking right now. You can see, let me just move it so that you see it, see that, undo that. Okay, those are my group box. That's how they're looking. If I run the probe, this is what you get. Okay, look at it, that's what you get right now. So the default position of the form, that needs to be set as well. I might as well just get that out of the way, come in here and just change the default position of this form right there. Let me select the form. That's it, the start position. Yeah, center screen. Okay, now here I have a label there. That's a label right there. In that label I'll just enter, and that is array to store numbers. Okay, that's what I intend to call it, array to store numbers. And you can see the font size that I'm using right there. That's the font size. Okay, the next thing I intend to do is to add some component here. So let's go about doing that now. So I need some labels right here. Okay, I need label here, and I also need two buttons, 1, 2, and I need a text box right there. That's my text box there. And over here I'm going to need a list box. Need a list box here. Go down a little bit, then I'll just center it. I need a label to a button. Yeah, I need a button there. Then I also need a label up here. Okay, then right underneath here I'm going to need a label here. Let's copy that across. I need one more label here. Change this very label, just change it to suit what I want. I want it as 3D. Okay, so change the auto size to false, and that's my label right there. Okay, I need a text box here and a button as well. I'll get rid of that. I need one button here. So if I run the system now, this is how it's looking. Okay, I need 2 buttons here, so let's get 2 buttons in there. 1. I also need another one there. So that is my interface. Okay, this is how it's going to look. So all I just need to do now is to make the interface look a little bit more presentable. So close that. I'll just speed that up. Okay guys, this is how my interface is looking right now. If I run the program, there's nothing happening here, and there's nothing happening here neither. So all I just need to do now is save this and start with the coding. Okay, let's just click on save all right there and give it a name. So I'm just going to call the array underscore of numbers. Okay, numbers 2. Save that there. So the next thing is to, I might as well start with the generate numbers. So double click on this very button itself and enter these lines of codes right there. So the next thing I'll do, I might as well just declare my array there. So let's say dim numbers. Okay, make that 7 as integer, and I will also declare another one, dim search value. Let's make that as integer as well, integer. Okay, so if I run my program, you'll notice I should be able to generate the following numbers. Can you see that? I can generate it, but nothing is happening here. But just before then, okay, let me show you guys something. You see this form? I will double click on this very form now and enter as follows: search value, okay, equals -1. If I don't do that, there will be a problem with the array. The first array that will appear on my display will always be 0. I will demonstrate that for you guys to see once the system start running. So the next thing we need to do is to double click on the add array. So this button, what this button does is to actually add the array numbers generated to the array that I declared right there. Okay, as you can see, I've declared 7, which means it's 0, which means it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you count it, see that is altogether would be 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, because it will start from 0. So alright, now this button, I will enter the following lines of code. Those are the lines of code. Take a good look at it. that will add each of those numbers generated into array. Okay, if I run the program right now, generate whatever number, 6 is stored into array number 0, 97 is stored in there, 98 or 84, sorry, and we have 94. All of those numbers are stored into the array that I declared. Okay, all that is left for me to do is to be able to work with the display array. Okay, let's go back into the coding area. We'll come here, double click on display array. So with the display array, we enter as follows. Okay, so if I run the program now and enter, I can just type and enter my value there. Add to array, that's 2. Okay, so if I click on display, that is what we get. If you count it, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 numbers in total. Okay, so all we need to do now is to be able to make these buttons and these ones work. We have to be able to search for whatever we want here. So let's take care of the search function or the search button first. So double click on the search number. Let me move that up so that you can see that's it right there. So I'll enter the following lines of code for the search number. Let's move that a little bit up. Okay, right up here I've declared some variable, local variable there, and here if you notice there, if there's nothing in the find text box, you see this message. Okay, and here else, if there's something in there, then the number, the system, the code will then check if the number is in the array or not, else you get this message. Okay, so if I run this system now, enter my, okay, let's get up to 8 of those. Alright, we have 8, display those values. Then if we search for whatever, that's it, that's what you get. It's telling us that value is not in there. Supposing we decide to enter 54, yeah, 54 is right in there, and supposing it's empty, okay, enter a number to find. Let's go for 94. There, 94 is in the array, which is very good. Alright, if I click on sort number, okay, I think that should be a reset anyway, reset, and this exit, they are not working. Let's change that to reset. We change this to reset, so change the value in here, the text content in there to reset. Alright, that's my reset button, which is that's alright. So double click on the reset and just go in there and enter as follow, list box 1. Dot items, I think that will be dot clear. Yeah, that's fine. Then I also need the text box. Dot text equals, and we need text box as well. Text box, fine. Dot text equals clear. And we need the label LDL display dot text equals yeah. Then we need to be able to enable those buttons. Let's see their names coming here, and that is button 5, button, okay, BTN generate. So with button 5, let's see what I have in there. Okay, I disable all of them in here. 1 2, okay, just those 2 buttons. So come back in here and go for BTN bit here in generate dot enable equals true. Alright, then we also have button 5 dot enable equals true. Okay, that is that. So the next thing we need to now do is to double click on exit button and enter the following lines of codes, and I think that will be all for this program. So if I run this program right now, I can always generate my numbers 1. Okay, so the array is full up, so click on OK. Display array. Let's search for any value. No, 3 is not there. Let's search for 2. 2 is there. It's empty. It's empty. Let's search for 37. Found. Okay, so we can reset and exit. Please confirm leaving the system. Yes, all systems out. Okay, I like that. So, and that will be the end of this very tutorial. So if you want, you can always send me an email and I will forward these lines of code to you guys. Alright, so let's run it again. Okay. Fill it up. Search for 69. There. Exit the system. Yeah. Okay. And that is that. And that's how you develop your own array to store numbers. So I'll just call it bye for now.